Mongraal 39k solo squads VOD review. We start off with Mongraal coming around Trump. He spots an epic assault rifle and goes straight for it. As he opens the chest, the player comes spraying from behind. Doesn't hit any shots and then tries to pickaxe. Mongraal simply jumps over him and sprays him down. The takeaway here is that you need to hit your shots. If you are anything like this guy, don't attempt to solo squads. We are gonna see that Mongraal kinda relies on this. He is confident that his opponents can't one-shot him and that he can one-shot anyone. He hears a fight happening in the new building and heads there straight away. We are gonna see the exact same example here. He doesn't care if he gets hit because he is confident in his aim and can generally trade out more damage than his opponents. He just goes with a bad left peek angle and gets hit with a pump shot and just doesn't care, spraying the guy down faster than he can fire any other shot. As soon as he cleans this up, he leaves immediately, chasing more eliminations. He doesn't even drink his minis, ignores the chest and sets himself in a position to catch the people below. Mongraal's confidence and skill is shown when trading damage with his opponents. This is further confirmed when you see him getting annoyed when the trade doesn't go his way. He hits the first guy for 40 and gets hit for 85. This is where he gets annoyed. He wasn't expecting this bad damage trade off. The guy falls back to his teammate, who gets hit for 110 when he opens the edit. Then, Mongraal backs himself up just enough to set up another damage trade, where he can punish if they push him, and they do. He hears shots and footsteps close to him, so he covers up, so he is able to finish and loot these guys peacefully. As soon as he is done looting the mats and the ammo, he just pushes the next guy. Again, without a care in the world, goes in on a left hand peek, tanks a couple shots and trades back a one pump to the face. He moves up the building to catch the other guy that was coming and gets a free pump shot on him. What he does here is a really good technique. He switches to the SMG not only for the pre-fires, but keeps spraying to cover for his movement into a better position and punishes his opponent when he tries to shoot or move. The guy whiffs his shot, gets hit a couple times and misplaces his builds as a result of this. Mongraal just cleans it up in the end. As more aggression comes, note that he doesn't get caught up picking up loot. He thirsts the guy for the HP, grabs whatever mats he can in a split second and immediately builds for cover and position. He drops down to re-engage, edits his roof and finds two more players. He just builds minimal cover, chases after the closest target, engages one player at a time, and overall just trades out more damage. He finishes the guy inside and chases after the other one, pumps him as he drops down and punishes another player that jumped right where he shouldn't. This is why having good aim is such a key component in this game. Even though the opponent caught Mongraal by surprise, he tanks two tactical shots and trades back a one pump. To be able to play aggressive, you need to have good aim and be able to win in these damage trade-offs. In this next engage, he gets a free shot and then blocks a pump as soon as he opens the door. Whiffs the next shot, switches to the SMG and gets tagged back before finishing him. This was really close as he could have been one pumped after missing his shot, but managed to come out on top with good movement and tracking with the SMG.
Oh, why would you waste that f***ing rift? I needed that.
As he comes down from the rift, pumps one guy and sprays another one for 2 free kills on completely unaware players. Finishes the visitor and heads down to find the guy he hears below. Catches him completely unaware as well, whiffs a shot and just sprays him from the back for another free elimination. He still hears someone else above, so he moves up while covering himself and editing out to find elimination number 14. When conventional analysis calls situations a 50-50, Mongraal just calls it 3 kills, right? This has only been the first 3 minutes of this game and Mongraal already has 14 eliminations. Let's note some key factors that we learned so we can move on and analyze other aspects of his gameplay. The first thing to note is that Mongraal plays extremely aggressive in this game. This means that he pushes every engagement he can, going straight for the damage trade. And yeah, this is all about trading damage, and the way to win this is to make sure you shoot first and you deal more damage that they can deal to you, usually starting with the shotgun shot followed by the SMG spray. And don't forget to aim down the sights for maximum damage. Aiming is a major component of this. As we see in the clips, there is very minimal building and editing going on. So if you are not confident in your shot, don't go so much for close fights where this happens, or at least try to set it up to your advantage. Also, we see this applied mainly in a 1v1 scenario. Even in instances where there are multiple players, Mongraal just builds some cover and turns the team fight into a series of 1v1s. This is all an effort to set up the best engagement possible. Other things like HP, materials, position and loadout are all leverages that you can take in an engagement and win damage trades. Let's just finish these notes with some other valuable lessons, and that is that Mongraal never gets hung up picking loot off the floor. He prioritizes getting ammo, materials and HP from the elimination. And when he's on the move, he completely ignores chests and loot, only grabs the mats and ammo that he can in a split second after the thirst and moves on. And last is that we see Mongraal get annoyed when he gets bad trades. This will happen, sometimes you set up the perfect engage, hit the perfect shot, but you still get the bad end of a trade, and you will get mad. As more situations happen, and you realize that this is why you're getting mad, you'll be able to power through it and focus on doing better next time. The thing that you absolutely shouldn't do is carelessly push after the bad trade. You get that rush that just makes you want to go and finish the guy so you can fulfill your ego, right? But we learned with Mongraal that all we need to do is just fall back a bit, set up another trade where we know we can win, and use the rush in your opponents to make them come to you and punish them in the end. Now keep all these things in mind as we watch this clip in real time.
It's on my mind. It's on my mind. Instincts are misleading. It's from my mind. It's from my mind.
Why would you waste that f***ing rift? I needed that.
14 eliminations in 2 minutes 48 seconds, averaging to 1 elimination per 12 seconds and 5 eliminations per minute. Absolutely insane. Now that we noted the fundamentals on how to play aggressive, we are gonna move on and focus on how Mongraal takes it to the next level and is able to win versus entire squads.
Get from my mind.
He does this by switching it to a building instead of the SMG after the pump shot. In this engage he comes up against two players, builds into a position where he is able to shoot them, takes the shot and immediately covers that angle with a wall. Since they didn't move and he owns the wall, all he needs to do is go back up and nail them down. Here we see the same concept of doing free damage, but instead of placing a building, he resets the edit and blocks the potential damage. So, he knocks the guy that was trying to heal up and gets a free shot on the other guy that is trying to go for high ground. Destroys the structure and goes in for a jump shot and completely whiffs. But it's okay, we now know that we should switch into a building right away to block incoming damage, and that's what he does. After that he just opens the floor edit and finishes him off with a pump shot when the other guy was just spraying with an SMG. Now we are gonna see him chase a guy off of Tilted into Loot Lake. With a quad crasher, he does a couple boosts and then hops out as soon as he touches the floor just to find a team coming for him. As soon as he notices the plane, he knows he has to take care of the first guy ASAP and heads straight for the engage. Finishes him off and immediately starts shooting the plane. Two players jump out and Mongraal just tries to deal as much damage as he can while they are in the air, but as soon as the guy lands, he starts building. Notice how the players are separated and Mongraal tries to go for the closest one, but then decides not to and goes for the build fight with the Ghoul Trooper because he is the bigger threat. He first fights for high ground and gets in a bad engage, but Mongraal's building is so sharp and so fast that he lets him leave that fight to go drink some minis. As he goes back up, he just deals a ton of free damage onto the soccer skin that was trying to come up, then makes a great play that most players aren't prepared for. He uses the technique to drop down with walls to place a wall of his own into the opponents one by one, with the idea of editing and finishing him off, but unfortunately he also catches the Ghoul Trooper with his floor. He builds to the side and tries to make an edit play on her, but ends up getting another bad trade. He then quickly builds for position once more and catches the soccer skin again by herself. He desperately tries to get the thirst but can't quite have it and gets knocked down with the Ghoul Trooper, putting great pressure. He turtles up with metal and just tracks his opponent, only making a move when he knows he is safe. He gets a free shot on the guy who's just jumping around and looks for the thirst underwater, but doesn't get very lucky. He continues to track the Ghoul Trooper to find a good timing to shoot. Because she isn't with her weapon out and he's building around, Mongraal just opens up the edit and finishes her off. He tries to drink a mini, but with the last guy coming, he prioritizes reloading and leaves, only to find the guy getting eliminated and himself in a pinch situation against the turret and the sniper. The first thing he does here is switching to wood. He doesn't want to waste good mats against the turret. Then he just drinks some minis and turtles his way out. As he tries to chase the first guy, Mongraal just gets tagged from the back. He starts covering and taking safe shots to both of them. Finally gets a good shot on the guy in the back and rushes for the full build fight. He comes and he fights for high ground, building with full cover, only shooting a couple times when he had the chance. The idea was just to find some free damage, but always prioritizing getting high ground. As soon as he gets it, he spots his opponent also trying to go for it, and since he has his pencil out, Mongraal just has his weapon out, he just jumps in and finishes him off. Yeah, right after this he just goes to loot a chest and finishes the original turret guy he was chasing in the first place.
That guy got away. This kid is pissing me off. Finally.
Then he finds a squad coming out of Loot Lake and just 2-taps a guy with balloons. Coming in with a strong entry frag, Mongraal just pushes, hitting a free shot on the one ramping up and finishes the onesie for HP and mats. Immediately builds for cover from the explosives. Note that he also switches to wood here, he doesn't again want to waste good mats on explosives. Unfortunately the guy gets a lucky rocket and tags Mongraal, but he just keeps building to cover up, get a good position where he can shoot in between the rockets. He knocks one guy by shooting from above while placing floors and immediately turtles up to block the incoming damage from the other players. He hears the players separating and comes down to try to find the guy with the rockets. He doesn't find him right away but notices that his opponents don't know his position and are just aimlessly building up. Mongraal just wants to play this 1v1 at a time, so he finds one of them, gets a free shot, the guy just panics and drifts out. Mongraal edits down to find the other one reloading his rockets with his back turned to him. Sprays him down and finishes with a shotgun, confirms the 2 eliminations for HP and mats and traps one last guy. He heads straight for the outpost near Dusty to find the squad playing around on the zip lines. Gets one free elimination and another free shot on the blonde soccer skin to his right. Pushes aggressively and gets the elimination right on time to catch the next guy coming from the zip line. He gets some more free shots but then gets tagged back. So he uses the environment to break line of sight as he switches to the heavy assault rifle and finishes him off. Now he's gonna put pressure on the guy rezzing below. He breaks the wall, gets some few shots in, the guy interrupts the res, turtles up and goes for it again, with Mongraal riding down on the zipline for the cleanup. He then leaves with the jump pad looking for more eliminations. He finds people inside Dusty, looks at the prisoner but then avoids him because he has a pump out. Then he sees a nightlight who seems like a easy target and then just chases her out. After finishing the nightlight, he is now versus 2 prisoners with shotguns. That means it's time to start building, since you don't want to trade against 2 of those. Finishes the first prisoner very easy and turns around to fight the other one. Immediately switching into builds after the pump, and he does it every time he notices the other guy with a shotgun out. As soon as he starts spraying with an AR, Mongraal just finishes him without a care. Gets 3 eliminations and heads out for the last guy, who gives him a bit of trouble. Mongraal misses a few shots and they get in a fight for high ground. He commits to go up and starts building with full cover for the retake. As he gets high, he tries to go for the quick trade but gets the bad end of it, making him fall back and build up to drink mini safely. The fight goes on with the guy turtling and Mongraal trying to take control of his walls, while always keeping track of his opponent. When he finally replaces the wall, the guy runs out and gets shot after the edit, and is finished with his pencil out. Mongraal comes down and fights another player. He gets the first few shots and starts pushing. Ramps up and covers up with floors, edits down and gets another shot on his opponent that had his back turned. The guy is then easily finished in his 1x1 as Mongraal wants to end this quick to go on for the last players.
think is good.
We are now gonna watch the end of the game and then take a few more notes. He finally finds a player, hops on the zipline and starts to fight for high ground.
What you think that we think is good.
He tries to take a shot, but then starts building with full cover as he gets close and the other player puts pressure. He gets high ground, goes for a shot as his opponent is trying to build. The players are now separated and Mongraal can take this 1v1 at a time. He tracks him down and gets a wall replaced to finish the first guy and hops up to catch the second guy with his back turn. Takes a free pump shot, switches to the SMG and doesn't stop spraying until the guy becomes a threat, which by the end he did when he turned around with the shotgun, but it didn't matter at that point. As a team comes from a rift, Mongraal just builds for high ground and gets some free shots while they are coming down. He builds back up so fast that he can catch his opponents from the back, still trying to take down some wood. Finishes him off and immediately goes out due to pressure and explosives that are coming. Heads straight for the first guy he sees and goes aggressive, sees the guys just standing there and spray. Hits him with a shot and blocks as soon as he switches to a pump. Notices the third guy coming and starts moving in another direction so he doesn't get pinched when he is chasing the weaker player and then just pumps him out of the air. In this last 1v1, Mongraal just stays cautious and plays from a good position. Goes aggressive when the player tries to drink minis. Immediately blocks off after the first shot, so there's no way to take damage, not even from a shotgun or explosive. He keeps playing from a good position and finishes the game by chasing him with his back turn on a right hand pick. Just a great game from Mongraal. There's a lot to note and a lot to learn, so let's start with the fact that instead of trading damage, he straight up deals free damage. He does this by switching into buildings to block incoming damage, instead of trading damage with the SMG after the pump shot. This can also be done with edits and resets. The main component now is building and editing. It needs to be on point, so make sure to practice it. Mongraal prioritizes this technique when he notices he's against shotguns, and goes for the SMG trades otherwise. He looks for quick engages and entry frags. When build fighting multiple opponents, go for high ground or get in a position where you can separate them and take micro 1v1s. Build with full cover, don't get caught with your pencil out. If you have any building downtime or angle you can cover right away, switch to the shotgun. Also, nothing wrong in taking a few shots along the way, or try to punish a pick if you can. When you get a good position, try to take free shots when your opponent have their pencil out. If you drop down from high ground, use the wall floor technique to catch your opponents off guard and get control of their 1x1. If you are fighting rockets or other explosives, build for cover, not too high, and shoot in between the explodes. And one last thing is start switching materials. Don't waste metal or brick if you are being spammed by explosives or turrets, and save it to fend off player aggression or establish a solid position. This was a VOD review for the full 39k solo squad game from Mongraal. Click on the left to rewatch the clip where he gets 14k in 2 minutes 48 seconds. Click on the right for a solo VOD review from the Champion Division with a very different playstyle. If you can, please leave a like on the video, as it really helps to get a new channel started. I would really appreciate it. And I guess subscribe if you are looking for more pro player analysis, and let me know your feedbacks and suggestions in the comments. Thank you very much for watching.